Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled, the TV podcast here in the Melfuzz Podcast Network. I'm Peter Bradley, and joining me as always is Mario Miranda.
What's up, guys?
And Connor Ryan.
Hey everyone.
Every week we talk about a bunch of TV shows. We review all of them. We've got a lot this week. We've got a couple of new, in fact, we've got 3 new pilots that we talked about coming up later. We talked about the pilot for Rush Hour, Hulu's new cult religious zealot drama The Path, and Sci-Fi's new sort of supernatural style show Winona Earp. Plus, we've got the usual reviews of 11/22/63, Better Call Saul, iZombie, Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Big week.
Big week. Not only will we have less new stuff next week, we'll also have some of the shows taking a week off. But yeah, so we got a lot of shows this week. If you're watching on YouTube, those are already up as separate videos. You can click on the links on the screen to go to those. If you're in the audio podcast, they'll just be coming up at the end of the show. Just use the timestamps in the description to jump around if you want to skip some of them, or avoid spoilers and that kind of thing. But yeah, so let's start the show off though with the week's TV news. And we've got a few interesting tidbits this week. First up, we've got some more casting for Marvel's Iron Fist. For Netflix. Jessica Henwick, who is also from Game of Thrones, much like the lead actor, she is going to be playing a dojo owner named Colleen Wing, who befriends the lead character. So I assume you know who this is, Mario, from the comics.
Yeah, she's popped up here and there. Not a huge character, like as far as involvement with more of the modern stuff. She's not even in Mortal Iron Fist, really. But yeah, so I'm going just an ally to Iron Fist in general. Came out in the 70s.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, they actually phrase it as she is the female lead, so they're obviously giving her a bigger role in this.
Yeah. Not sure what the plan is there.
Maybe just because it gives them more creative freedom to do what they want with the character.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, and I think I've listened to some people talk about the Luke Cage show and stuff, and they talk like people ask like how much of the comic books are you going to take into account, especially considering most of the bigger stuff came out in the 70s, where especially with Luke Cage, it was a blaxploitation, so it was very of the times. Yeah. And I think Marvel in general is saying we're not really going to rely much on any of that stuff because it doesn't really translate well to 2016. So I imagine they're just kind of going to do their own thing and just kind of take a base idea of what the characters are supposed to be as far as like friend, kind of like with Bucky. He's supposed to be younger than him, supposed to be a teenager, supposed to look up to Cap, and instead they made it into best friends that were about the same age.
Yeah.
But the spirit of the character interaction and the relationship's still there, and that's really what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think if Bucky was younger, it would just feel a bit silly, almost, in the movies.
It would kind of feel very sidekicky.
Yeah.
Whereas they kind of feel more like equals in the movies.
Yeah. And like I said, the spirit of the character is still them. It's supposed to be like his best friend, and that's really what matters. So
yeah,
that's what they're doing with these kind of things.
Do you know what? I can't really remember in Game of Thrones, but she was in Force Awakens for a little part, and I liked her in that quite a lot. She was one of the X-Wing pilots.
All right, okay.
Yeah, I mean, with the casting in Netflix, I generally feel like
they haven't really messed up yet, have they?
Exactly. So you kind of just go with it.
Yeah. All right. Next up, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia has been renewed for 2 more seasons. And interestingly about this isn't even the next season. That season 11 just finished. They already had season 12 greenlit, so they've been renewed for a 13th and 14th season.
I mean, I heard the one that's just finished is 11, right?
Yeah.
That was the most popular and highest rated one yet.
I hadn't heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah, I definitely saw that earlier on today, where that was their most successful series.
Do you know what's funny? That they're getting up to 14 seasons now. I have watched 7 seasons of this show.
I'm watching through at the minute. I'm on 6.
And it's funny that by the time I get back to watching it, there might actually be just as much show left for me to watch that I've already seen. I thought, I'm up to season 7. It'll finish at like maybe at season 9 or 10, and then I'll have a few to watch. But no, it's doubling. So
it's understandable.
But no, I mean, I've enjoyed what I've seen of it. It's one of those things that I'll end up binge watching some point down the line.
It's kind of what I'm doing at the minute.
I really like the show, but I haven't been paying attention as much in the last few years.
It's kind of like a live action cartoon, though, in that it kind of doesn't really matter. You can kind of just jump in and go with it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's worth noting this is on FXX now and not the original FX, because this is kind of their flagship show in this, like, second child they launched at some point. But 13 and 14 seasons, that's pretty insane. But of course, it's not actually, I mean, it's long running in terms of seasons, but keep in mind that It's Always Sunny only has about 10 episodes per season. I think.
It varies like between like 6 and 12, I think.
Yeah, so in terms of episode numbers, they're probably not like higher than, say, something like Friends, which only had 10 seasons, but it was like getting like 24 episodes every year.
Only 10.
Yeah. But you know what I mean, though, like.
Yeah.
So It's Always Sunny's got up to season 14 at the very least. So that's pretty insane. That, I mean, when did that show start now? Like 2002, 2003, something like that.
Oh, is that sorry?
Yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, so yeah, why am I asking Connor math questions? That's just
Sorry, my sound cut. I didn't hear the question.
It's just asking for trouble. Yeah, excuses. All right, next up, HBO has ordered a new show called Sharp Objects, the series, and it's going to star Amy Adams. And you were quick there. It's going to be based on a novel by Gillian Flynn, who wrote Gone Girl. Marty Noxon is going to be showrunning it. She's run a couple of shows. I know her because she was a writer on Buffy.
Of course.
We're not counting that as me bringing up Buffy. This is actually part of the news. But yeah, Sharp Objects tells the story of a reporter named Camille Preaker, played by Adams, who returns to her hometown to cover the murder of 2 preteen girls following a stay in a psychiatric hospital. So this could be interesting.
Nothing about this sounds bad.
Murder mystery, Amy Adams, rated a Gone Girl. Yeah, I'm good. This is definitely worth checking out. I'll definitely check out the pilot, certainly at the very least.
Of course.
Presumably this isn't going to be a long running thing. This will be a 1 season deal, unless they want to do an anthology type thing. But it sounds like an event series that'll have like 8 or 10 episodes, and that'll be it.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like there was a good bit of TV shifting towards that lately anyway. Like, they've realised that people are quite happy just to have one good season and go, there we go, that's it. Let's make this sell well.
Yeah, I think after watching True Detective Season 2, a lot of people were thinking I could have just had one good season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Sharp Objects sounds cool. Murder mysteries can be fun. Next up, here's a channel we don't normally talk about here, but the Discovery Channel has ordered an FBI drama called Manifesto, which comes from Kevin Spacey, who's one of the producers on it. It's based on the real story of the FBI analyst who actually tracks down the Unabomber. But it's a scripted show. I mean, it's on Discovery Channel, but it's a scripted,
Strange.
It's not fictional, I suppose, because it's based on a true story, but, how...
It's a fictionalized version, surely.
Yeah, because it's scripted, so... So it all comes from the viewpoint of the FBI profiler who hunts down the Unabomber, whose real name was Ted Kaczynski. So...
It's strange for Discovery Channel.
Yeah, apparently they've been gradually starting to shift a little bit more to doing some scripted content, which is weird, because... I'm
intrigued in checking some of it out just out of curiosity.
Because my mind goes back to the simpler times when I first got like cable and satellite TV, and you had there were certain things that just made sense. Discovery was the documentary channel.
Of course.
MTV was the music channel. And
So
now both of those things are not that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
everyone wants a piece of everything else. They're all trying to diversify so they don't get left behind.
All of the main channels we used to have all become just general entertainment channels, and then they've all got sister channels that have now become the ones they used to be. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how you see everybody just kind of adapt. Reality shows are big. Everybody get reality shows.
Yeah, even the History Channel has reality shows now. What the fuck?
That's all right. Dave still relies on Top Gear. As long as that never changes, then TV is exactly as it was.
As long as that constant remains, then nothing's shaken up too much.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Last up in the news this week, NBC is looking to make a female-based spin-off for the Blacklist, starring... I'm going to butcher this name here. Jean Grey from X-Men. Is it Famke?
Yeah.
Famke
Johansson, right?
Janssen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Janssen. Famke Janssen. She's apparently going to be in the Blacklist this season, and just before the final this May. And it's
Sounds
going to be
like a backdoor pilot.
backdoor pilot. Yeah, that's the exact phrasing they're using. And if all goes to plan, she will be the lead. She will be the James Spader character for the female-led Blacklist.
What's the hook that makes it different other than it's female-led?
They don't really give us one.
I mean, I say that, but then how many of these crime shows have the only hook is it's in a different area?
This one feels really forced to me though, because admittedly, I've only seen 2 episodes of the Blacklist. I watched the first 2 episodes and then I was like, yeah, it's not for me. I'm out.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, Mario's fighting with the mic.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I watched the first 2 episodes and
I didn't even
same
try
idea.
that. It didn't look very appealing.
It wasn't even that bad. It was just kind of.
Well, you just knew what it was immediately.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what was going to happen.
It feels forced to me though that there's another character in this universe which has got like a very similar setup where she's going to have all this information but be willing to help.
Yeah.
Presumably a younger agent who I guess will be male since the young agent and the main one's female.
Female, yeah.
Kind of feels like they want to get in on the whole, the idea at the minute where let's do a female version of it. Ghostbusters is one major example.
Which I think's fine for a lot of things. It doesn't make sense to me for this one.
No, it kind of just feels like, well, everyone else is doing it, so why aren't we?
Yeah, but I don't know. People like that show that much because it's a really popular show.
Didn't Netflix pay through
they
the
really
nose
care?
for that thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Netflix
did.
season 1 of this they paid for it was something like $1 million per episode or something.
Yeah, it was
like
insane.
Yeah, something like that.
That. And I'm like, is it really worth paying $22 million for this season?
I wouldn't have said so.
Especially since it'll be timed. It's not like it's forever. It's like, a year or 2 years or whatever it is.
Yeah. Strange choice.
Whatever the contract was. Actually, I'd hope it was at least 5 years. I'd be pissed if it wasn't. But yeah, so that's everything in the news this week. So kind of a weird mixed bag of news, but odd things all the same. So that'll take us on to the TV reviews for this week. Of course, remember, if you're listening to the audio version, they'll be coming up in just a second. If you're watching on YouTube, click on the links on the screen annotations to take you to those reviews. Thank you, Connor, for displaying where the screen was for the viewers at home.
Wait a minute. There should be that way. There.
It should be that way. Very good. So like I say, we've got 3 new shows, and the way we always order these shows on the audio version is we always put the new shows first. So all the pilots are first. So if you want to check out what those are like, and honestly, for the most part, we do spoilers, but if they're not good, then you probably shouldn't care about spoilers, so you're pretty safe to listen to those reviews, honestly, for the most part. So, yeah. So here's this week's TV reviews.